Hello, my name is Giverson Maina. This is GML. Call it Giverson Maina Live. On the last part of the show, we have on the set Avugwe Shadrack, our political analyst, and also Kelvin Shabana Tembea, all the way from Kakamega. Kakamega Forest? No. Kakamega Town. No, let's finish the show. Let's conclude. What is perceived as intimidation to IBC and judiciary, and we say judiciary is supposed to be independent according to the constitution, and also IBC, like the other commissions, it has been created in the constitution. All these bodies are supposed to be independent, and they are independent. Mm-hmm. But what we've seen recently is that it's like NASA and Jubilee are coming close to crumble these institutions. Am I correct?
It is true. Constitutionally, IBC is supposed to work autonomously. That is true. But unfortunately, both the brigade from the NASA and the Jubilee, all of them, it's like they are fearing one another. So they are only looking for something that they can hold on. And that's the IBC. So IBC actually is being punched from left, right,
let me ask let's be honest. Is it Chebukati? Maybe it's not even IBC. Maybe Chebukati doesn't know his job. Maybe he's just, a scared person. It's not like
IBC itself, it has failed. Just a minute. Why? Because anytime somebody is castigating it, we have never seen the head of its communication department coming out and defending, or rather to explain to the public what is going on in its offices.
Yeah.
Are you getting? That's the point. That's the problem that the IBC itself as an institution is facing. We have never seen them writing any press statement. So anytime somebody is pinching it, Duale is ready to speak on its behalf. And constitutionally, the guy is not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
So the Jepukatis and his battalion, they should now revamp their system of working. Let them make their communication department to be so active than the way it is.
Is it Chebukati? Maybe it's not the way we see it. Everyone is coming to crumble the institution. Maybe it's Chebukati.
Okay, first of
all, he's a weak person.
Okay, first of all, I wouldn't choose the word to intimidate. I think the NASA coalition are crying foul play, or they are carrying their red flags to warn that the IBC and the Jubilee are in the same beds. Because if you look closely, why is it the Jubilee Brigade, they want to appeal to the court against that ruling that Judge Odunga gave out?
They have the constitutional right to appeal. Is it Shaban?
Actually, they have.
They can go all the way to the Supreme Court.
But considering now their complaint that they have no time, I think now they are dragging so behind when they take that case to the Court of Appeal, rather than sitting down just the way they had started very well on Monday, by calling all the presidential aspirants, trying to formulate the way forward, because it was so unfair for them to call that meeting, and at the same time they had already posted that issue to the Court of Appeal. It means those guys, they were trying to eat with both hands, which actually is unfair.
What Chebukati said, they have the two options. They go to appeal, and then they are also following the ruling of the High Court. Start all over again the tendering process and let it go on, and then also at the same time appeal, so that if the Court of Appeal in their favor, they stop this process, and go on with the printing. That's what they say.
Okay, I think the Jubilee side should be very grateful to the NASA coalition, because what NASA coalition is doing, they are trying to they will be rigged out. So, and the Jubilee side believe that they are going for the second term. So they should be very grateful to the NASA side, because they are closing.
No election will be stolen.
The loopholes, yeah.
So, and whichever side can steal elections? Whichever side?
Whichever. I think two major loopholes have been closed already. One, the results to be read at constitutional level, and the other one is the printing of presidential ballot papers. Yeah. So I think to my side there won't be any rigging.
Shaban,
yes.
What are your thoughts?
I think the IBC has the guts, or it has the duty to restore the trust of the public towards its work. But the problem with it, it's very slow to act. And another thing you have said is very clear, that they have presented that case to the Court of Appeal, and at the same time, they would like to resolve that issues when they have a meeting with all the presidential candidates. That one, it seems something so
It won't
so
work.
confusing, it can't work.
It can't.
They have to go for one. They have to sit down and find out which one is the best for them. Because actually, I think even the court itself, it cannot be able to go on with that case if they have found an alternative way to resolve it. Are we together? So the IBC should come out and try to give back the trust to the public, because the way it is working, it is trying to work, keeping in mind a few days that have remained before we get to 8th of August. Many people up to date, I'm sure, over 60%, if so to say, they have already lost their trust to the IBC. So let Chebukati and his team come out very clear and try to tell the Kenyans, okay, these are the methods that we have tried, we have decided to put in place. Are we together? And also, when you talk about the two mainstream coalitions, both of them, they feel that another one has a high chance to get power.
Yeah.
So both of them are not sitting pretty. They are fearing one another. And just because the IBC, it is very slow to act, they are taking advantage of its laziness, if not its loud silence.
Not laziness, weakness. And by the way, how can you compare, this IBC to the previous one?
This IBC,
Yeah, this team we have.
they are trying, but they have to pull up their socks, in order to tackle these tasks, in an amicable way.
Shaban, how do you
Yes.
compare these, this IBC to the previous one?
See,
Chebukati
comparing,
versus Hassan.
you cannot if you compare, you have to compare and contrast at the
Yes.
same time. So when I'm trying to see, you see there is a very clear difference. Number one, the Isaac Hassan was very vibrant in terms of delivering an information to the public.
Yeah.
I think on that he had tried his best. So that's one thing that I would recommend for him. But now when it comes to the issues to do with Chebukati is very slow in acting. Because the moment there is a problem, people are pointing fingers to his office. The guy is nowhere to be seen. It's only Duale who will speak on his behalf. And another thing that now if I try to see the two, is that at least this one we know that the people who are nominated, or the people who are appointed to be the commissioners, I think they are trying to work.
The current one?
At least they are trying to work. The problem is only with their top brass. Are you getting my point? Now those who are overseeing, and also there is a problem with Chiloba. Chiloba, remember, is the CEO of the IBC. So I think he has a lot of duties to play as far as all the process of the IBC are concerned. But the problem is, anytime he speaks on behalf of what? Of the government of the day. That's the problem. Although we acknowledge the fact that he is an appointee of the government, but he has to make sure that he come and side with the public. I've not said any political affiliation, but I'm saying he's supposed to side with the public. But there's no any big difference between the two.
But they're commissioners, okay, let's give them time. And at the end of the day, they're the only people you have. And they're the only people in trust, with this kind of job, come election on August 8th. But they're commissioners. The current commissioners we have, you can't compare them with the previous commissioners. They look weak. We even don't know them. They even don't talk. We only know Chebukati, and Chiloba, and the vice chair, Nkada. The rest of the commissioners, where are they? They're not active. They're not anywhere.
Okay, that is a challenge, and I want to direct that issue to the PR team of the IBC. The PR team is responsible to ensure that the whole office of the IBC is known to the public. And I think this time the IEBC is affiliated to the Jubilee side a little, because whenever there is a problem, why is it that the Jubilee side, they are the first one to come up and address the issue?
Perhaps
in place of the IBC.
They're just protecting them because we've said most of them are just cray babies. You know, they don't know how to defend. They don't know how to defend themselves.
Okay, look here. I think
They must be defended.
I think the political class is the one that has made the Jubilee to become a toothless dog, as majority are saying outside. And even itself, remember the way we were treating the last time in the office when we are treating the previous commission. So I think the new one, up to now, it has not gotten the encouragement to go on and discharge their duties.
Yeah.
Because you can remember it was very embarrassing, isn't it? So they should give more time to the IBC, and IBC also should come out very fast and act and let now themselves, as he has said, to defend itself.
Chebukati, you know, will Chebukati give us a credible elections? We believe so, but you know, let's be realistic. Will this happen? Shall we have, credible elections?
Yeah, there will be, as a matter of fact, I think I mentioned a few things that will make us have a credible election. Yeah, one of them is there should be a fair play, a fair ground for all the parties. And I think all the parties as per now
All of them are satisfied.
Are satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the ruling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Jubilee side are trying to manipulate the things because they want the elections day to be pushed ahead because they know they are going to lose. So they are bringing all these issues. Yeah, so that the elections date.
You know, Shaban.
Yes.
Between NASA and Jubilee, who wants the election to be postponed?
Hey, none of the above.
But Jubilee has said NASA wants election to be postponed.
The problem, you have asked me a very simple question that is Chebukati's team, are they eligible to give us a credible election? You see the problem here, let's try to be fair here and to be honest at the same time. Most of the people who are heading the public agencies, those are being given as political rewards. So in one way or another, they have to dance to the song or to the tune of their masters. Are you getting my point? So that one is the problem. Because even if we are talking about the new commission, most of them, if we try to be honest now, let's come outside this, let us now remove this shell of pretendency. Now speak the truth. Most of the members of that commission, those who are given on political grounds, isn't it? So, and that's why, and even the problem is with the public opinion. And this one it has been more perpetuated by the political class, because the political class is the one that has made us to lose even the trust to the public. Remember, these institutions actually, I know they have the guts, they have the possibility of giving out very credible services. But the problem is, as the public, how do you view them? Remember, we have the power either to empower them or even to lose trust in them. And the moment we lose trust in them, that's how now we make them to be weak. So for ourselves also, let's try to learn to respect our institutions if we would like them to do their work as mandated by the Kenyan Constitution.
Yeah. You said, Shaban, if there is no party that wants election to be postponed, but if election was to be postponed today between us and Jubilee, who would benefit?
I think it is the Jubilee side because they know very well that they are going to lose. That's why they are bringing all these issues for the elections day to be pushed forward. For them to enjoy that added time.
But it looks like NASA wants the election to be postponed.
No, Giverson, for once I would like to dance to different tune with my friend here. Because suppose today elections won't be done on 8th of August. Actually, the part to benefit is the ruling party. Because we cannot stay without the government of the day. So since they are the one who are still sleeping in the State House, we'll assume that there was no election. So therefore, they'll keep on taking their breakfast in the State House, lunch in the breakfast, and also the dinner in
exactly.
the
They
State
will
House.
benefit.
So they'll be the one to benefit.
Yeah, they'll be the one to benefit.
Jubilee has said that NASA wants election to be postponed so that, they can go to court, perhaps, force a coalition government.
No, they have to say because they are politicians. They are not priests. I have not seen any one of them showing the aspect of a pope or even a priest. In other words, those are politicians, and there's nothing we expect
But can it
more
happen?
than that.
If
Those
election,
are politicians.
if election is postponed, can it happen? Is it possible, for NASA to force a coalition government?
Yeah, it will not be possible because the constitution has stipulated very well that it does not support coalition government as from it was promulgated back in the 2010. I think there will not be no coalition government.
But we'll have a constitutional crisis. That can force anything to happen.
It can, but the problem, remember here, when you get to Kenyan constitution, I'm sure all of these leaders, when they were taking oath of the offices, there must be a line whereby they say, and I will defend and protect the constitution. So if you are trying to say then there will be a constitutional crisis, why should they allow such a crisis to happen? Yet they took an oath to defend and protect it. So it means even themselves, they are not supposed to be there.
But what can delay the elections? The courts the cases in courts concerning IBC and printing of ballot papers and blah blah blah. So many things. All these can delay these elections. Is it?
No, it can't. Election will be done on 8th of August. Take this to the bank.
Yeah,
Others leave it to the politicians.
Yeah, and it is very certain that on 8th August there will be an election conducted by the IEBC itself.
Even if you should not have ballot papers,
they will be there. They will
You see,
be there.
Giverson, for the first time, we are having the two political coalitions that they have locked horns very closely. So each of them is fearing one another. Are you getting this point? So in other words, each of it feels that it's an underdog. Another one has a guts to trounce it, and vis-a-vis. So what I would advise our dear Kenyans and our beloved people of this great nation, or our patriot Kenyans, let us not give our ears to these desperate politicians. Let's just subscribe to what the Constitution says. On 8th of August, let's come as early as possible and practice or express our democratic right.
Let's watch out.
Election will be there.
Next week on the next show, it will be -7 days, 26 -7 days. What is that? 26 -7?
That is 19.
Around 19.
That's 19.
Yeah, around
days.
19.
We're about 2 weeks too.
About 2 weeks.
Roughly.
We shall be here. We shall be waiting.
Yeah.
We shall see the progress. Any final comments? Your final thoughts?
My message to the Jubilee side, I think they should stop taking this Justice Odunga ruling matters very seriously, because it shows that they are on the same bed with the IEBC. Because whenever there is a problem, the expected is the two parties that are conflicting, they should be sitting in a place, try to reason it. But if you see at this case, the NASA coalition, whenever they cry for a red card or foul, it is the Jubilee Brigade that come out and try to defend the IEBC, and that shouldn't be the case.
Shaban, NASA is in bed with
So this is my camera.
courts. That's your camera.
Okay, I have a very clear and simple message to our beloved Kenyans. Kenyans, you have to assume that this one is your time, and it's only the Kenyan Constitution that has empowered you to express your democratic right by coming out on 8th of August. That one will be the 2nd of August. Come out very strongly, cast your vote. But you should not waste your time giving unfair credit or airtime to the so-called politicians. These are not politicians. From where I sit, these are desperate losers. So let's try to be as much as possible to be wise when we are nearing to electioneering. Let us not buy the fake ideas of the politicians who are trying to incite us and try to tell us that one of the institutions has failed, so let us not respect it. No, let's remain to be sober, as we are remaining with few days before we hit on 8th of August. Thank you so much.
Words of wisdom, Shaban Natembea and Shadrach Avugwe. Shadrach Avugwe from Nakuru County. Of course, the other person, Shaban, all the way from Kakamega County. And all of them have agreed that elections shall be held on 8th August and elections are not going to be postponed. Let's wait and see. We are here and we are watching the pace. Let's see if the Al Grey or whichever company is going to print the ballot papers before time or on time or in time. My name is Giverson Maina. This is GML, Giverson Maina Live. Till next time, it's bye-bye for now.